Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, YouTube. My name is Phoenix, and this is the very first time I'm actually doing a voiceover for one of my art pieces. And in all honesty, I'm very nervous. So, a lot of people in the past have asked me questions about my art, both on YouTube, DeviantArt, and even Tumblr. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity to explain some things. I'm primarily a traditional artist. I enjoy pencil and paper, as you can see here with my sketch. I enjoy the texture and the feel and just the sensations and being able to scratch on a piece of paper and see my design take shape in person. Now, in saying that, doesn't mean that I'm strictly just a traditional artist. I do a lot of digital art, as you have seen in my channel in the past. So I enjoy both very much so. So a few things that I want to say about this piece. First and foremost, I lost clips. It was so horrible. I'm going through all of my clips that I had, and I had something like 7 hours worth of video clips that I had originally recorded, and I could only find about 2 or 3 of those hours. I'm not completely sure what happened to the other bits of my recordings, but ultimately at least I had enough to do a nice little speed paint for you all. So this piece was inspired by another piece I had seen many years ago at a convention where somebody had done the Sailor Moon characters all together in a group, and I just thought it looked so cool. They used just busts, so basically chest up of these people, and they had their symbols behind them and just a splotch of color, and I really loved the way that looked. So I decided to do my own version with the My Little Pony characters. For those of you who don't know, I love My Little Pony. I've always been a fan of My Little Pony. I grew up in the 80s. There's no denying it. I'm a pony fan from before pony was cool. So I had a lot of fun of doing this, and with the convention coming up very shortly, it was something that I knew people would at least enjoy seeing, if not purchasing, and I'm hoping people will buy it, so that's awesome. The pencils you saw earlier, they are mechanical. They are Pilot Color Eno in 0.7, and I like using colored pencil because it allows me to lay different layers. For example, you're seeing the sketch being inked right now digitally. It allows me to design my layer in an orange or a yellow, and then I can go through with a blue, a pink, a red, purple, and define items. And typically on a larger piece like this, you would see like 3 or 4 different colors, but a couple of my pencils were out of lead at the time of me drawing this, so not a biggie. I'll have more about those pencils later in a what's in my pencil case video I'm planning, so you'll see more of them. I'm sure you'll see lots of them through the next few videos. Here I am using the pen tool and a mouse and paint tool side to ink this piece. I've heard a lot of people tell me that a pen tool is not the tool you use to ink a piece. You should be using pen pressure and a tablet. And to those type of people who tell you how to do art, I say art is subjective, extremely subjective, which means that each person sees something different in the pieces you do. There is no right or wrong way to do a piece of artwork. So in saying that, to those who say you have to use a tablet, you have to use pen pressure, you need to define your lines, you need line width and weight and certain colors. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you enjoy what you're doing. Don't do what other people say you have to do, because there are no rules of art. If somebody can show me a book, a concrete book that are the rules I have to follow for art, then maybe I will go ahead and do that. But for now, I want to do what makes me happy. And what makes me happy is just being able to draw. Now right now I do agree with people saying that line weight makes or breaks an art piece. I absolutely agree with that. When you're doing a lined piece of artwork, line weight is extremely important. And right now in my piece, as you're seeing, it's one solid line weight. It's kind of boring actually. So what's going to happen is before I start coloring it, I will go ahead and change the line weight of my lines. You're going to see it a lot. I actually tweak the line weights throughout coloring and inking and the whole process. There's always tweaks happening. And that's art. There's tweaks, there's changes. I think it's one of my favorite things about traditional art is you have to do the tweaks and changes on the fly. In fact, in this piece, you're going to see a huge change at the end. Towards the end, Pinkie Pie gets moved completely to a different location because I didn't quite like her just peeking over top of my queens there. So I moved her completely. She's in a whole new location, and you'll see that later. But that's what art is. It's about being fluid and okay with change. You might have this amazing plan that looks so great in your head, and then you put it to paper and it's completely different. So it all depends. My little Skype message is popping up. I cropped this because at the time I was also taking files for a convention. I print buttons for all my friends, so you'll see Skype pop up every so often. Here's where I'm changing that line weight. This is where I was telling you about the line weight being extremely important. And one of the things I really like about the pen tool I use, one, it helps me with my vectors. And vector is extremely important, especially if you're going to make these larger or bigger. In fact, one of the things I didn't do on this piece because I got lazy is typically I vector my colors too. It takes a little bit longer, but typically I vector my colors. And I didn't on this piece. And I really should have. But even not vectoring my colors, I love vector lines. I love vector colors. I love people who can work in vector. Because it allows them to make the piece any size they want and they lose no detail. It doesn't blur, it doesn't affect the piece at all. But as you can see with this, the line weight's important. It's kind of cool. So a few more things about this piece before I let you just listen to the music and enjoy. Again, I did lose a few clips towards the end. You'll literally see me starting to do detailing and shading, and I'll literally hop to the final piece. The final piece is available for sale through my convention going. If you're interested in purchasing this piece, I am planning on reopening my Etsy store. The details will be in the description bar below, so please watch for that. I've had a lot of questions when I'm doing my next cross-stitch video. I did film one, a Pokemon update in time for the Pokemon Go release for Canada. So when Canada gets Pokemon Go, you guys are going to get an epic Pokemon cross-stitch update. So kind of tells you how old or how new this video might be, depending on when you're watching it. I do plan on trying to film a new video every week, but with the convention schedule having started in just May, like May long weekend for Canada was my very first weekend, so it's the weekend of the 20th in May. I got really busy with conventions, so we'll see how that goes because I do a lot of conventions in a year, including ones I run. So hopefully I will be able to do once a week. Knock on wood, that actually happens. So with that, I am going to say goodbye, YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing to me and watching my videos. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up. I know you hear it from everybody, but it tells me what you want to see. If you want to see something very specific or a piece of artwork, please leave it in the description box below. I've taken requests on YouTube before and enjoyed them. So I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day.